Hello and welcome. I am Alessandro Portale from the Qt Company. I will give you a handful of how-tos on using Qt Creator. You will see how to set up and get started with Qt for Android, Python, WebAssembly, and with Qt for MCUs. We will also have a close look at diagnostics of your code in Qt Creator. Then we will dive into plugin development for Qt Creator.
So now let's do a list of how-tos. I hope you find them interesting. If not, they are very short. The next one will be interesting, I'm very sure. So Android, everyone has an Android device, but I'm sure that if you are a Qt Creator user, you hesitated a bit to set up Android. Well, most of the people who listen here. So I will show you how easy it is now with the latest changes in the setup process. So I start you from the beginning. You have the installer, the SDK installer, and of course you have to install the Android Qt version, which contains different architectures already. So it's 4 architectures in one package. And if you start Qt Creator the first time, it will notify you that there needs to be a setup for the Android kits. So you would just click on that information bar and you're directly taken to the settings dialog for Android devices. And now here we have 2 different scenarios. We have the scenario where you, for example, already have installed Android Studio. There, Qt Creator will recognize Android Studio and will just use the Java development environment, then the Android SDK, the Android NDKs, and the Android virtual devices. And that's automatically detected. And in theory, you are ready to go here. If a Qt Creator is happy and you have everything installed that's needed for Qt on Android. And this means you share basically all the settings with Android Studio. So if you use Android Studio to manage your Android devices or your Android SDK, these changes are automatically also valid in Qt Creator. I like that option very much. If you don't have Android Studio installed, then Qt Creator will help you to bootstrap an Android development environment, which is can be very tricky by hand without Android Studio. And now Qt Creator helps you with that. What you need to do is, however, provide a Java environment. That's something you can download OpenJDK. But then Qt Creator will help you downloading the SDK tool, the SDK installer, and from there on it will also automatically download a list of packages that you need for this one Qt version that you are registering in this moment. So, and what you also can do is add OpenSSL libraries, which really meet the requirements or are really meant for this one Qt version. Qt Creator will download them from a Git repository, which is kindly maintained and provided by our friends at KDAP. And yeah, so when you're done with that, Qt Creator has your kits for you, and you can basically take a project and configure your Android kit for that project or make a new project or whatever. As you can see, you have also a nice symbol for that, and here you see the properties. So if you launch an application, Qt Creator will ask you which device do you want to run this on. So it shows you your physical devices that are attached to the PC, but also the virtual devices that would be then launched in the emulator. And here you see the whole thing launched in the emulator. You can debug, you can do quite normal things, the stuff that you're used to do with running software. And here you see the same thing on a small Android phone. So both, you can target both and debug on both. So that's it. And let's go to the next one. Did you hear about Qt for Python? Or it was also called PySite for a while, PySite 2. So we call it Qt for Python now. And did you know how easy it is to set that one up? I'm sure you didn't guess, because it's really easy. You need Python, of course. Yeah, you install some version of Python, a recent one, 3 something, and then you pip install PySide2, and that's it. You have all Qt for Python installed by that. Also some tools and everything you need. Now you just need a nice IDE that helps you develop with it. And guess what? That's Qt Creator. Qt Creator provides specialized application wizards or project wizards for Python projects. You can select one of these, choose between widget-based or QML-based. And then if you open the project the first time and you are still missing the so-called language server, Python language server, Qt Creator offers you to install it for you. Why? As you remember from a few slides earlier, Qt Creator supports the language server protocol, and by that it can now, in the scenario of Python, be a code editor with diagnostics and code completion and many other things for Python. So the Python language server is the component that's still missing. Qt Creator downloads it for you. That's quite quick. And then already you see the first diagnostic here behind me on the virtual screen, of course. In the first diagnostic, you need 2 empty lines after a class. So after fixing that, you can also do some code completion. That all works out of the box. So you can edit Python code nicely in this scenario. And you can, of course, also edit your form in the integrated widget designer or QML designer, whatever you use as a technology. And then you can just launch the thing and it opens this beautiful little application. In theory, and in a very rudimentary way, we already support debugging in Python, but it's not yet in a state that we can really suggest using that. But with Python, it's really easy to just switch to another IDE for the purpose of debugging. So that's it for Python. Let's go to the next exotic platform. You heard of WebAssembly? Your Qt application running in the browser, you could have that. You could turn your application into a browser-based application using Qt for WebAssembly. Why not? That one is really easy to set up. I think even easier than the other ones, I must say. Look at that. So, of course, you again need a special Qt version. That's the WebAssembly SDK or Qt SDK package. Then what you need to do is we need one third-party component that's called mscripten, or the mscripten SDK, since Qt for WebAssembly is based on mscripten. You install it. I would install it by just cloning the repository from GitHub, for example. And then you need to do 2 things. You need to, you can copy-paste these 2 magic lines from the documentation. The first line would be you install a specific version of the mscripten SDK that fits to this specific Qt version that's documented in the documentation, no worries. And the second line is to activate that version, that installed version. However, there's a small pitfall that I want to warn you of. Don't use the embedded option, -embedded, because then Qt Creator won't work with WebAssembly. We removed it out of the documentation and it came back again. I don't know, maybe the whole setup is too easy, so we had to have this little challenge here. But anyways, don't use that and you're fine. You do your normal Qt development, you open your project, existing one, create a new one, doesn't matter. You configure a WebAssembly kit for your project, and then you also see the nice WebAssembly logo in your mini selector on the left. And the run configuration here is of course a bit special, because this is a special type of application. It's not a standalone application which just launches like that. It's basically an HTML5 page. a very complex one, but it's HTML5, nothing else. And so what we need to do is we have to launch this thing in a browser. Therefore, we have a run configuration, which is browser specific. So here you can, it detects a bit which browsers are available. You select it, and then it launches a small tool from the mscript and SDK, which creates a very short-lived temporary web server on your machine, and Qt Creator then opens the lets it open the browser and serve that page. Then you see the application running. That is needed for security reasons. You cannot just launch the HTML page from the file system. That's like that. So if you just press play, all that happens, what I explained here, and you see your application running in Firefox in this case. So try it out. It's really easy and it's fun. It's a cool feeling, really. Very short one. Qt for MCUs, you may have heard of it. Sounds very complicated. I mean, it's totally small hardware and different bees and everything. Get yourself a license key, try it out, or evaluation license. It's really easy. So let's say you have some kind of hardware, some board, and you want, if we support the board out of the box, you can just test it by choosing the right package in the SDK installer, and this will also install several other things like CMake. It will also install the ARM GCC compiler. It will install a vendor-specific SDK, which allows your application to break out of the Qt for MCU APIs and use board-specific ones. And also it brings, some of them bring a version of FreeRTOS with them that you can use instead of pure bare metal development. And again, first time you launch the IDE, you get a notification. It tells you we need to set up some things before we are ready to go. And this also, again, brings you directly to the settings screen, where most of the required fields are already filled out because they have been pre-installed by the SDK installer. One thing is still missing, but we hope we can do that, ship also that in the future. It's the flashing tool. So that one, Qt Creator will give you also a link where to download it and let you enter the field there. And then you're ready to go to create your kits. We create a kit for the desktop version of Qt for MCUs, that it runs as a small desktop application for quick testing, and kit for that specific board that we have chosen there. And now we have an application wizard which is specialized for Qt for MCUs. You launch that, it creates this little small project, and you see the QML that you are familiar with. You can edit it with normal means and run it now for the desktop application. It just opens a small window, just as a for a fast turnaround. That's a nice thing to do. And then you can also attach your device, and then Qt Creator will cause the building and the flashing of that application to your device, and it will launch there. Very easy, goes out of the box. And a small detail, that application wizard that you saw 1 minute ago also created a design studio project. So you can open this project, the QML project file from your project, also in Design Studio, and do visual editing of your QML. So, and you can also use the timeline editor and things like that. Oh, I hope you liked it. So enough of getting started with new platforms. Now let's have a look at diagnostics. I mean, this is a very interesting part, I think, of Qt Creator. And we integrated Clang Tidy and Clazy and try to use it as much as possible in different scenarios. What we offer, so we even ship these tools with Qt Creator. They are part of it. You don't have to install them, especially. And you open your settings and you can set up which diagnostics, for example, for Clang Tidy you want to be used in your workflow. For example, it can warn you about not using null pointer or not using the override statement properly. So override specifier properly. So if you don't know what a option of Clang Tidy is, there's a link to the official website. So you click on it, the browser opens. Clazy is similar to Clang Tidy, but it has very Qt specific diagnostics, which is also very important and very, very convenient. And it helps you finding some anti-patterns or it helps you improving your performance or memory consumption. So these things just by changing your code a bit without changing the behavior much. So it works the same way. So we have, again, two scenarios how to use this thing. We have the batch mode or the analyzer mode, which goes over a source tree, over a whole source tree, and checks each single file. And at the end, you get a list of diagnostics. You can click on the diagnostics, look where they are. And now comes the cool part. The diagnostics, or many of them, also have a so-called fix it. So the tool will fix the diagnosed problem for you automatically. And in this mode, you can even mass fix these issues over all the files automatically in one go. So this is good to go through a legacy code base or to a code base that you want to bring to a new C++ standard. You can really fix many things in very short time with this thing. I like it. I'm very proud of using it and then making big commits, smart looking commits. I like it. So now comes that was the first use case. The second use case is having all these diagnostics while you type, while you edit your code. And I think this is even cooler because while you type, it even prevents you to write or to use, I don't know, non-modern constructs or to use it in a different way than it's specified in the settings. So it will tell you on the spot, hey, please do this and that, and it will even offer you to fix it for you. We had that feature a few versions ago. It had been removed for maintenance. Now I'm very happy to announce that it's coming back in Qt Creator 3.14, so next version. But yeah, so this is really cool. I mean, it's in my case still 25 years until retirement, and C++ will change many times there. So I will be very dependent on these kind of tools in the future. I'm very sure. And now you saw all the built-in features in Qt Creator and in different segments. So target support, visual editing, C++ tooling. And now you think you have your own technology or editor or whatever tool that you want to integrate into this IDE so that it's there for other users. And let's go a bit into the topic of starting your own Qt Creator plugin. It's actually pretty easy to do that. If you do not want to check out the whole source code of Qt Creator and compile whole Qt Creator yourself, then we offer you something now. It's called the Plugin Development SDK. It's part of the installer. It's just there where you select your Qt Creator. If you install that one, you have everything you need to build a plugin against, or Qt Creator plugin against that Qt Creator version that you also are installing at the same time. So this is quite convenient. What you have to care for, however, if you don't build whole Qt Creator yourself, is you have to find the exactly matching Qt version, and also which is binary compatible with the Creator version that you're targeting. How do you find out which one is used? You go into the Creator About screen, and you see exactly which compiler has been used. If you don't have it yet, just install that Qt version and you're ready to go. Qt Creator has, of course, again, a project wizard, this time for Qt Creator plugins. And you have to set up some things like your company name, website, license, and everything. This is stuff that then ends up in the metadata of your plugin and is also visible in the About Plugins screen later. And also here you set up two paths. One is to the source path is to the SDK that you just installed with the installer, and the second path would be the binary Qt installation, Qt Creator installation that you already have on your hard disk. So then you go next, and it creates some source code for you. Qt Creator plugin can do everything. You can imagine it can integrate in many pieces. A bit of these things are documented here as comments in the generated code. For example, the very bare bone plugin that has been generated for you will just create a menu entry and do a small action there, and you can see how it's done. If you want to run the thing, the plugin, of course, it's a shared library. It doesn't run on its own. You need a host or an executable, and that's in this case Qt Creator itself. So you just set the application to qtcreator.exe or whatever OS you have, and yeah, and as a parameter, we added here color red, so that you can distinguish the Qt Creator you work in and the Qt Creator you develop for, so that you don't get confused at some point. So if you launch basically your plugin, it will open Qt Creator now, the red version, and you can see that there is a menu entry of made by your plugin. And from there you can continue and do the best plugin ever. And of course, there's always this problem with, how do I create the plugin in a way that other users can use it on Linux, on Mac, on Windows with the two different architectures. Therefore, Qt Creator, the wizard also created a small YAML file, which will help you with that. And this comes now. It's how to publish your Qt Creator plugin. So I'm talking, of course, now about open source or maybe also commercial GitHub scenarios. It's about GitHub. So this all has to do with GitHub. There are many Qt Creator plugins on GitHub already, some of which also already now use this mechanism that I'm going to explain. For example, this small Haskell support plugin by a dear colleague of mine. If you go to the releases, you see a very neat list of 4 binary formats, and you can download the zip file and use it then and install it on your or the customer can, or your user can download it and install it on their machine. However, that's the painful part here would be to build these packages in the 4 different architectures. I mean, who has a Mac, a Linux, and Windows PC always running and always up to date? And no one does it really, or privately, just for fun. And therefore comes now the GitHub Actions into play. So GitHub Actions is a task runner on GitHub, which offers you also virtual machines to build your software, to test your software in an automated manner. That can happen on each commit in a certain repository. That can happen whenever you create a tag or a branch or get a pull request, so on different events. And here you see a list of different of these GitHub action events that went through. They can fail, they can succeed. You also see a failed one in the background, this little cross. And so the GitHub action is, of course, then part of your project that you push to GitHub. And it's that YAML file that the plugin wizard in Qt Creator created for you. It's not the most beautiful code, but you will figure out what it does, and it just does nothing else than downloading Qt, or getting Qt, getting that plugin SDK, getting a source code, and compile it and package it as a zip file for these 4 different architectures. And that's quite quick, few minutes per, in this case here, you always see the minutes. Very easy. Now, how does a user who wants to use your plugin now goes to GitHub and sees the releases, how does the user install that plugin on their machine? So it's very easy. Download the zip package and go to the plugin dialog in Qt Creator. And on the bottom, there's now that new button that's called Install Plugin. And it opens up a wizard where you can provide the downloaded zip file. The content of that zip file is checked for correctness, right version, right stuff in that thing. And then you can say where to install it, either on the system-wide, in a system-wide manner, directly next to the installed Qt Creator, or just in your user space, so that only your user installs that. Yeah. And then if you're done, you have to restart Qt Creator. So there are some occasions where you have to restart the IDE. We have now a very convenient restart mechanism that gets you exactly to the same point where you were before by using the session mechanism. So that's not a big inconvenience anymore. And yeah, the Haskell plugin is installed. You can see it there. And now you can start hacking Haskell on Qt Creator.
Thank you for watching. If you have questions or comments, I will gladly answer them now.